Hey, 2KSBQR. We're going to cover 29.0, page 18. Battery versus battery. So let's see what we got. Now here we have Limbered Union and Confederate batteries. I've got Winger and Bigelow stacked together here, and separated I've got Ver, and of course for the target I've got Crenshaw battery separated with Brander. Go over some rules about artillery fire before we continue. Of course, it'd help if I was more prepared. Okay. Artillery fire, 29.0. The phasing player may fire at any non-adjacent enemy infantry, cavalry, or artillery units within the range of influence of the deployed battery that's going to fire. All artillery fire is conducted by the phasing player before any combat fire is resolved. Only phasing batteries may fire. A battery may fire at any target or targets within its range of influence. 29.1 Artillery fire procedure. Artillery fire is conducted in the following steps. Step 1. All cannon which occupy the same hex may be combined for fire. Cannon in different hexes separately by themselves cannot be combined. Step 2. Cannon in the same hex may fire at the same target or different targets. The target is defined as a single battery or brigade marker. Step 3. Combine the number of cannon of the same type, which is rifled, or it could be Napoleon, or it could be howitzer, in the same hex firing at the same target. Compare this number with the range between the firing battery and the target, the number of hexes from the firing hex to the target hex, on the artillery fire table. The result is either the casualty damage, if the target is infantry or cav, or the number of ammunition attacks available if the target is artillery. Step 4. All brigades which receive casualty points must consult disorganization table to determine the number of disorganization points received. Step 3 is repeated for all cannon firing because we have 3 different types. The phasing player must order his artillery fire so that all fire directed toward one target is resolved before fire toward a new target is commenced. 2. Batteries which fired cannot move during the movement phase. 3. Not all cannon in a battery have to fire. 4. If the firing cannon occupy a hex at least 2 levels higher than the target, the range is reduced by 1 hex. If 2 levels lower than the target hex, the range is increased by 1 hex. 5. If a cannon has a flank fire, it is treated as 3 cannon of the same type. In other words, you multiply it by 3 if you're firing at a flank. Artillery fire, 6. Cannot artillery fire into the woods hex unless the target has previously fired from that hex. The range to a woods hex is increased by 1 hex. 7. Artillery cannot artillery fire into an adjacent hex. .2 Counter battery resolution. If the target is an artillery battery, the number of ammunition attacks is determined as explained in step 3 of the artillery fire procedure. 2. For each ammunition attack, a die is rolled. If the result is a 4, 5, or 6, the target battery loses 1 ammunition factor. For every battery, 3, in which at least 1 cannon fires, the phasing player marks off 1 ammunition factor. I'll go into 29.3 heavy fire later. Okay, now, like I said, this is about battery versus battery, not battery versus cav or infantry. So it's a pretty simple process. First thing that needs to be done is we need to count the batteries that are firing. The Union is the attacker. The CSA batteries are the target. Flip them over. And I'll get my tablet. There we go. A little math is involved. Since this battery is separated, it cannot combine with this battery. So we'll do this one first. I have no rifled cannon. I have 6 Napoleons, and I have no howitzers. So, just to check and let you know, it says 6 right there. I have 6 of one type. So I write down N for Napoleon, put a number sign, and write 6. Then I count the range. Well, on this map it's impossible to count the range, so let's create a range. Oh, let's say the range is 5. So the range is 5. Okay. 6 Napoleons firing at a range of 5. Let me widen this up. Whoop. Go to the artillery fire table. Room here. Just widen it a little bit. I'm not a good director. Right here is the range in hexes. Right here is the number of cannon firing. I have Napoleons firing. I have 6 of them. The range, I did say, was 5. The cross index to the number of cannons firing, which is 6. Go to 5. Okay, I've got 2. That's 2 hits. Initially 2 hits. What I got to do now is I got to roll the dice and see if I can get a 4, 5, or 6. So we roll for number 1. I got a 6. That's a hit. And I roll for 2. I got a 5. That is a hit. just place this instead. I now need to find out where that Brander's battery is on this Confederate ammunition status sheet. So I flip Brander over, which should have been turned over in the first place. I find out that he's with Letcher, Virginia. So now I got to find Letcher, Virginia. There it is, right there. Letcher, Virginia. I had 2 successful hits. So I mark off 1, 2 ammunition boxes. And then I go to the Union battery and I find the 5th U.S. C battery. The 5th U.S. C battery is right there. It fired once, so I mark off 1 ammunition box. And that concludes battery versus battery. There's really not much to it. That's it. Keep gaming.